Season 4 of The Boys ended on a pretty exciting note. All the complaints that people had throughout the 7 episodes were taken care of in the last one. Naturally, Season 4 left us with a plethora of burning questions that need to be answered and explored. So without wasting time to build a long intro, I'll cut to the chase. Let's begin. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
Today, a new age of superheroes begins.
How will Homelander lead the government? Although President Calhoun rose to power from the rank of Speaker, he immediately called Homelander and pledged his allegiance to him. It did not take long for the Soup with mommy issues to announce that he was gonna launch an army of Soups to patrol and control the streets and get rid of anyone who did not like his way of thinking. He wants to paint America in his own image, which he thinks is the best way forward. Needless to say, it is gonna turn into an epic disaster. He would do just about anything in his power to control the masses and their perception towards himself. I mean, I would go as far as to say that he'd want to rule America like a king. I'll also think that he would place his Soups in the cabinet so that things are easier to control, but then again, he would once again be surrounding himself with a long line of yes men and psychopaths. The worst will befall the Boys and Turncoat members of the 7 like Queen Maeve and A-Train, but what's more interesting is that he would still have to adhere to some degree of restraint. You see, although Homelander is the de facto ruler of America, he has to pay heed to whatever Sister Sage will say. She has totally gained his trust and will ensure that her dreams and ambitions come to life. I mean, she agreed to work with Homelander in the first place because he offered her a chance to see her theories be put to test on a global scale. Having said that, we're still unsure what Sister Sage's Phase 2 really means. Does she really mean to spread anarchy, or does she have something better in mind, like siding with the Boys or Queen Maeve?
We'll make America strong again.
Will Butcher unleash a Soup genocide? Butcher, much like in the comics, is hell-bent on unleashing this Soup genocide using the virus made for Homelander. You see, up until the penultimate episode, Butcher was against anything so extreme. He was dealing with 3 different personalities. One was of Becca, who implored him to remain calm and do things the righteous way, while the other was of Kessler, who had been asking Butcher to hold no qualms for violence and bloodshed as long as Soups, and especially Homelander, were getting annihilated. Lastly, there was Butcher's original personality, which was basically a mix of both. It seems that the V'd-up tumor that Butcher had in his head has become kinda sentient and has managed to convince Butcher to unleash the genocide. Until the last episode, Butcher wanted to use Ryan as a weapon against Homelander, but Ryan, like always, has failed to pick a side. Furthermore, he killed Mallory, which pushed Butcher way too far, and he now believes that Ryan and Homelander are basically the same. This is what ensured that Butcher gave in to Kessler. Having said that, I also believe that Season 5 will see Becca and Kessler having a face-off in Butcher's head. A battle that Becca would win, which would lead to another change of Butcher's heart. This could mean that Butcher dies in Season 5, which is what happens in the comics, but he would definitely go out with a bang. Maybe while trying to kill Homelander or while sacrificing his life for Ryan's, thus fulfilling the promise he made to his dying wife. What would be Soldier Boy's equation with Homelander? Soldier Boy was teased in the mid-credit scene of the Season 4 finale. The president learned about him during a confidential briefing and immediately dialed Homelander so that he could take a look at his sleeping father. Now, Soldier Boy's role in the next and final season would be extremely intriguing. In Season 3, he tried to kill Homelander after making a deal with Butcher. He knew that Homelander was basically his son, but that did not stop Soldier Boy from attempting to take Homelander's life. And I think the Boys, along with Soldier Boy, would have managed to do that. But when Soldier Boy attacked Ryan, everything went to crap. Now the thing is, for Soldier Boy, his word and his code are really something he cares about. Yes, he does all kinds of unacceptable things, but the man does honor his code. Butcher betrayed him, and he would definitely be pissed when he wakes up. I think 2 things could happen with Soldier Boy. Either he would wake up and get controlled by Kate Dunlap, the psychic. Second, he could be experimented upon by Homelander because Soldier Boy does not really age, and Homelander is extremely worried about his graying public hair. Hell, even Sister Sage could see that he was getting old, so maybe Homelander would try to find out the secret behind Soldier Boy's ever everlasting good looks and would try to replicate them for himself. Of course, there's a third possibility that nothing of this sort happens and Soldier Boy tries to alienate himself from the boys and Homelander.
Get out of my way.
Grace.
I'm sorry.
Will Ryan ever choose a side? Ryan's arc throughout the show has been filled with ups and downs. Born out of rape, the kid never had a normal childhood because he was made to stay in seclusion with no one but his mom. This also led to a condition where he developed a phobia of crowds. Later, he met Butcher and did not get much love from him. Next, he met Homelander, who treated the boy as nothing but his heir. Yes, Homelander sometimes tries to be a father that he never had, but we cannot really expect Homelander to have good parenting skills. I mean, he himself has so many mommy issues and is basically a superpowered man-child. In the season finale, Homelander wrecks his apartment after finding out that Ryan is in touch with Butcher, and that's why he messed up the commercial asking the children to turn on their parents. Seeing the rage that Homelander was experiencing, Ryan left Vought Tower to go and meet an ailing Butcher. But here he gets confronted with some really harsh realities. When Butcher and Mallory suggested that he should be the one to kill Homelander, his father, Ryan loses his mind. He feels betrayed by Butcher, someone he considered absolutely close, and in a fit of rage, he kills Mallory, who he treated as a grandma. Of course, this has made him extremely sad. He leaves the holding cell where he was supposed to be kept, but we do not know if he went back to Vought or is on his own. Either way, his journey is going to be extremely troublesome. He knows the vile things his father is doing, so he might not want to go back to Homelander. However, going back to Butcher would also be difficult since he has betrayed the kid. No matter what, the final season of The Boys will have to pick a side for Ryan. There is simply no other way. Who all will Annie team up with? While all the other members of the boys were captured by Homelander's soups, Annie manages to escape. We do not know where she has gone, but my best guess is that she would first go to Sedona to ensure her mother's safety. Next, she would try to release her captured friends and boyfriend, but she would need help, and a lot of it. I believe she could contact A-Train, Queen Maeve, and the kids of Godolkin. The good ones, of course. It remains to be seen all who will survive in Season 5. I mean, I'm talking about the boys. Frenchie and MM do not seem to have a very long shelf life, but let's see.
Buckle up for Phase 2.
What is Sister Sage's plan? Sage pulled a fast one by sending the shapeshifter disguised as Annie to mess with Huey's head. This wasn't just random chaos, it was a calculated move to shake Starlight to her core, pushing her into a major identity crisis, which ironically helped her snap out of her constraints and rediscover her powers. Starlight's got a new vibe now, tapping into solar radiation, which makes sense, given her name, right? These newfound abilities first kicked in during a confrontation with Cindy, another powerhouse suit. Now, why would Sage and Cindy after a supposedly powerless Starlight? It seems Cindy was meant to push Starlight to embrace her super side fully. It looks like Sage isn't playing the villain after all. She, along with Maeve, appears to be on a mission to dethrone Homelander by damaging his public image. While many speculate Sage was referring to Soldier Boy or Ryan as Homelander's ultimate challenge, it's more likely she meant Homelander himself. Homelander's desperate need for adoration and power is his Achilles heel. Similar to his strange dependency on breast milk, Sage, dubbed the smartest person around, isn't about to let a man-child like Homelander lead. Her game seems to be involving setting him up for a fall, positioning herself as a Brutus to his Caesar, gaining his trust only to betray him later. With Maeve likely in on the plan and characters like A-Train and Ashley evolving in their roles, big things are bound to happen in the final season. Oh, and I feel Ashley's becoming a Hulk-like figure. In essence, Sister Sage is shaping up to be the ultimate strategist or kingmaker in The Boys, orchestrating Homelander's rise just to engineer his downfall. What's next is anyone's guess, but it's clear Sage's master plan is about knocking Homelander off his pedestal. What will be Ashley's fate? In the final moments of the last episode of Season 4, Homelander calls an urgent meeting of the Seven, ordering them to eliminate every Vought employee privy to their dark secrets. Deep suggests adding Ashley to the hit list given her extensive knowledge. In a panic, Ashley races to Homelander's room, grabs a vial of Compound B from a hidden vault, and injects herself. The transformation is immediate and painful. Her body enlarges, hinting at a Hulk-like future for her character. This transformation is no random plot twist. Ashley has long been a reservoir of suppressed rage and trauma from her dealings with the Seven. Her change into a hulking figure could be seen as a release of this pent-up fury, potentially making her a significant force in the coming season. As for the upcoming Season 5, Ashley's fate hangs in the balance. She might have fled Vought Tower post-transformation, possibly avoiding capture by the Seven. Her escape would undoubtedly steer significant chaos, especially if she crosses paths with the Deep, setting up an intriguing conflict. Ashley, now a key player with her insider knowledge and possibly stockpile of Compound V, could align with Starlight and the boys to challenge the Seven. Her transformation, combined with her awareness of secrets like Queen Maeve being alive, positions her as a crucial ally in the battle against Vought.
We'll make America strong again.
What's up with Butcher, his cancer, and Kessler? Butcher's health and vigor have seen a stark change in The Boys Season 4, notably after he has given in to his darker impulses, represented by Kessler, a grim reflection of his terminal cancer. While Butcher might appear revitalized, his battle with cancer is far from over. Kessler, not just a figment but also a reminder of his illness, continues to influence Butcher, signaling that cancer remains active. Throughout the season, Butcher's alignment with his darker side has granted him extraordinary resilience and strength akin to that of other Supes. Yet it's clear he's not invincible. His cancer still poses a significant threat to his life expectancy, a shadow looming over his newfound powers. As the boys gears up for Season 5, Butcher's condition adds a complex layer to his character. Despite potentially being on borrowed time, Butcher's gearing up for a grand finale. His plans possibly involving the Supe virus hints at a catastrophic confrontation with Homelander, who is more potent than ever. Butcher seems resigned to the fact that he may not survive the final battle, positioning himself as a strategic figure, determined to make his last stand count. The story of Season 4 beautifully juxtaposes the fate of Butcher with contrasting developments among other members of the Seven. Despite his grim prognosis, Butcher's actions going forward promise to define the closing chapter of The Boys, where his legacy and ultimate fate hang in the balance.
Get out of my way.
Grace.
I'm sorry.
What's going to happen to the boys with Mallory, Newman, and Singer out of the picture? Up until now, Butcher and company had been working on orders from Mallory. She was guiding them throughout and would often help the boys when they found themselves in a fix, but Ryan pushed her out of the picture. You could say that the boys have kind of been orphaned as a team. They also took direct orders from President-elect Singer, but he has been arrested for the murder of his own vice president. Lastly, Victoria Newman is also gone, which means that Huey will have nothing to worry about any longer. I mean, he did have a soft corner for his former boss, naturally. The boys have become extremely autonomous and will do whatever they deem fit. But there's a downside to this, and they will have to contend with a lack of infrastructure and resources. It is not like the boys come from wealthy families, so yeah, money and infrastructure would be a major problem. Also, they will have to really decide who the leader of the team should be. It was usually Butcher who led the team, and MM himself said that Butcher was better at it than him. In fact, he went as far as saying that he was better at doing the paperwork. So yeah, a lot of hurdles for the boys in the final season. What will be Stan Edgar's role in Season 5? Stan Edgar's role in the final season will be of immense importance. You see, the guy not only lost his company to Homelander, but also lost his daughter to Butcher. Needless to say, he would not want to decide with either of them and would want to carve out his own path. But first, he would want to defeat both Butcher and Homelander. Of course, he would next set his eyes on getting Vought back, but that seems unlikely because Vought might not exist by the time the show ends. However, Stan Edgar would definitely want to rescue his granddaughter from Red River. He knows exactly what goes around in that orphanage, and Stan would not want his daughter to face any of that crap. I also feel that Stan might join hands with the boys in their common struggle against Homelander and the boys, two guys who seem nearly irredeemable as of now. So, these were the top 10 questions that I feel that needed to be taken care of right away. Let me know if you have something else in your mind. As always, if you like our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.